you may have watched Manifesting with Flowers and Manifesting Like a Seed. Today, I'm bringing both of those together to share with you another morsel of wisdom and excitement on your manifesting path. So, prior to this, I drew 3 tarot cards to guide our discussion. So the first, this is the 2 of Pentacles. Now, whether or not you know about the tarot, I'm going to give you the message that is from these cards for you now. And you may want to set aside your traditional tarot knowledge. Some of it might be complementary, some of it might not. So if we look at the picture, we get infinity symbol images. You've got these swirling 2 circles that she has. So a 2 in the tarot, you can think of it has to do with pairing 2 complementary things. It could also be 2 opposite things. She's got the purse that's an actual physical manifestation. This is what you currently hold. And then there's this, is it a metaphysical purse? Is it a ball of energy? It's what has not yet manifested. We can see it, so there's a vision of it, either in your mind or in your heart, but it's not in her reality. And there's emotion implied with this picture. I see it in a way of her swirling between what she has and what she wants to have, what she has created and what she wants to create. There's a back and forth going on. She wants to bring this forth. You want to bring forward what you have. Now, I'll share a picture with all 3 of the cards because they clearly tell a story. So let's stay in this next stage of your manifesting. This woman now, we don't see the other purse. We only see her connected to the star. The star can symbolize divine wisdom, knowing, bringing something down from the heavens. And so it's not just a purse that she wants. The thing that you want, sometimes we forget if you want love or you want career success or you want a nice home, because we want the physical manifestation of it, we tend to give a lot of meaning and attention to the physicalness of it, the physicality. But this is more than just some energetic purse. She's literally connected to a star. I want you to remember your desires, they're not just about the physical things that you want to bring here. They are you connecting to power in the universe. If we all come from stars, then you are connecting, you're co-creating, you're connecting with the creator, you're co-creating with the creator, and you're bringing down something divine and heavenly and profound into your life. You're not just manifesting a house. You're not just manifesting a relationship. You're in some ways changing the trajectory of your life. You're making bloom what has never bloomed before. And there's nothing about this card that makes us think, oh, but how could she do that? That's so impossible. You're not allowed to lasso a star. You can't do that. If you notice her face, she's fully confident, at peace. There's not the energetic movement that we felt here. There's a calmness, a knowingness. She's feeling that. She's got her hands near her heart, but not in the way, even as this woman is moving, her body language is a little bit closed, close to herself. Whereas this, even though her hands are crossed in front of her, it doesn't feel shrunk into herself. It feels as if she's at home, embodied in her body and connected to this star. So, what happens when you bring the star of the divine inspiration, the manifestation into your life? What happens is you become a woman of the world. You are in the world. You are playing. I don't know if you've ever seen, I don't know exactly what they're called, but there are these great big balls that people climb in and then they play and tumble around. And one of the trampoline parks that my kids like has that. In a way, it looks like she's in the middle of the ball. She is she playing with sacred geometry? Is she playing with the world? The world, yes, has its highs and its lows, its yin and its yang. And yet, this woman is just in pure delight of being alive, of being here. This is the process that's available for you. So, what does the natural world, the wisdom of the natural world have for you in terms of manifesting knowledge that can be shared? How do we go on this path from the first woman to the last? And you'll notice each of those stages, they're all good in their own way. They're all different parts of your evolution, your soul's experience. In part of the class about seeds, I asked you to start considering what type of seed you are. And in manifesting with flowers, we were spending time looking at flowers, connecting with them, learning from them. So both of these, in one way or another, came from seeds. However, in the life cycle of a peony, if at some point it started exhibiting these characteristics, the plant would consider that a deformity, if it had self-reflective qualities. It would only be producing this if there was some like infection or organism in the plant making it have this physical manifestation that was not itself. They each have such distinct and unique characteristics. They can look beautiful together, and these two have differences from each other. But the differences compared to this, I believe this is some kind of lily. I don't know the exact name of it. So the peony are vast. Whereas if you compare the difference from this peony to that, there's a lot of similarities. And yet they are each uniquely different. So far, as you're following with me, you might be thinking, yeah, Rachel, I know, I get it. I heard that. I'm not as the same as another kind of flower. I'm not the same as another kind of plant. I don't need to try and manifest like others. I can manifest like me. I can hear the yeah, but so what? When are you going to tell me something I don't already know? When are you going to tell me the thing that cracks me open? When are you going to tell me the thing that makes me move from this state to this state to that state? So I am going to share some with you now that I invite you to take and explore and take you from one state to the next. And you are also invited to take part in Manifesting with Nature and Infinite Possibilities. It's a 6-week program where you work with me. You get weekly attention via email, via one-to-one calls, and a workbook that allows you to delve into the concepts and work on these concepts to completely not only transform your life so that you manifest what you want. Again, you don't have to transform every aspect of your life, but your life will transform as you have this manifestation becoming a part of your life. And And you will also understand more deeply the laws of nature, how nature works, so that 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, when you want to manifest the next big thing, you already have a structured framework to work within to create it in your life. So you're invited to join that. There is a link so that you can sign up. There's a standard level and then a VIP gold level. Both are equally good. The VIP gold is more if you want to take it further. You want more sustained support and input from me, guidance from me. Okay, so to answer your question of what is the thing that is going to crack you open? What is the thing that is going to get you to see this in a new way? What is the thing that is the manifesting with the laws of nature idea that you need to hear right now? Okay, I am going to share some things with you, and this is going to mirror what you're going to do in the program should you sign up, which I highly encourage. I want you to get out a piece of paper and you're going to fold it into three. It doesn't have to be perfect. However you do, it is perfect to me. I might write a song about manifesting. This is what I do with my kids. I just make up songs on the fly and then I forget them. And some days I'm like, dang, that would be a good song to like record, but I don't know how to do that. And, things for another day. So you've got your paper folded into three. I have my trusty markers. If you don't have markers nearby or crayons or colored pencils, I highly recommend it. If you join Manifesting with Nature, you will have these. You will get some because it is going to be such a delight for you to play with color and visuals and words. Okay. So you've divided this paper into three. I made a mistake. It was the third column. So you've got three columns. You've got the then column. That was then. This is now. And then I'm calling this later for right now, but you may want to rename it. So I asked you to contemplate what kind of seed you would be. And if you don't have one that has already come to you, you're welcome to simply go with the first plant idea that comes to your mind. If you don't know what it looks like as a seed, that is okay. I'm going to be working with an oak tree because acorns we have a deep connection. So in the then column, we're taking this oak seed, which is called an acorn. So you're going to write what you know about that seed. And again, if you don't know, you're just going to extrapolate what you know about seeds. So we've got acorn. Many seeds have a hard shell. Many seeds, well, all seeds have life contained within. They have resources contained within. They have the DNA, the blueprint for what it will be. I'm listing all of this. What will be. If you have other ideas, you can put those down. There's a color and a unique quality. So there's the color is brown. One of the things I love about acorns, some of their caps are smooth, some of their caps are rough, some of their caps are super tiny, some are almost the same color as the acorn itself, some are different colors, some of the acorn tips are super pointy, some are blunt. So there's a variety of caps. I just spelled varieties wrong. I'm gonna make the analogy that caps are like hats. Caps are to hats as roles are to people. So you may have watched the video where I talked about when seeds know whether to emerge or not. And I wrote about this in a newsletter of temperature, sunlight, moisture levels. There are different things that signify for it to emerge. The seed doesn't start sprouting until it's time. We want to have compassion and love for you. You want this thing, you may want it with a burning, insistent, intense passion. You may want it so bad and think, I should have had this already. Why do I not have this yet? I'm so upset, disappointed, mad, angry, crying, pained that I don't have this. And I want this. And I've done all the things and none of it worked out. So, damn it. This just proves that life isn't meant for me. These things aren't for me. All of that, I'm gonna let you contain, let you vent, let you fuel it all out. If you have space in your column, write it out. If you need another sheet of paper to get it out, let out all of those feelings. And we're gonna accept that there's a seed that knows the time to sprout. You and I wanted it to sprout at a different time, but the seed knew something that we didn't know. And now we have a knowing. Oh, okay. So this seed needed something that it didn't have prior to now. But now that we know that, what if we just add in what was missing? Which I know sounds like super easy, right? That was perfect. That was so easy. Wasn't that easy? Well, yeah. So we are now in the now column. So we're going to add in what was missing to sprout the seed. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not proud to say this, but it's true. One of the things that I was missing was sustained confidence, sustained practice, much like, so I'm sprouting some carrot seeds outside right now. They take, I don't know if they'll sprout in less than 5 days, but let's just say 6 to 12 or 14 days to sprout. If they dry out in that 6 to 12 days of sprouting, they do not sprout. Even if I have 5 days of watering and I miss a day and they dry out, bam, dead. You tried, but that was that. Sometimes it annoys me to sprout carrots because I'm not the greatest at sustained action that's the same action every day. I'm not saying you have to take the same sustained action every day. I'm just illustrating for you. There are conditions, some of which need to be replicated to be created. If you're given a baby to care for, you can't just feed it 5 days and be like, well, I fed it 5 days. It should be fine now. You have to keep on feeding it every day. Confidence, belief, motivation, sustaining hope, trust in yourself. A lot of these we have to feed every day. If you have a long enough time feeding them, some of them will keep on going. But I think Zig Ziglar has a famous quote about motivation is like showers. You need it every day. And if you skip a day, you start to smell. I'm not quoting this exact quote as it goes. So I'm going to put here sustained regular action. If daily doesn't work for you, that's okay. One of the things I will get into in manifesting with the laws of nature is different ways that I know based on how you work in terms of neurodivergence or four tendencies or other ways of qualifying how you work in the world, how you can either create a daily practice or a weekly practice that sustains you over and over, that you can keep and have the momentum so that you can have the results that you wish. I'm going to say confidence plus self-trust because I feel like I have a high level of self-trust, but it doesn't always have the confidence embedded in it. If, as I'm presenting these things to you, you are seeing in a loving and kind, not shaming way what is missing for you or what is bubbling up. Oh, this is what I was missing. This is what I see now. It's probably something you wouldn't have told me yesterday. I wouldn't have told you yesterday, oh, you know why I didn't succeed? It was lack of confidence. Like I might have felt it, but would I have spoken it out? I might have said sustained action because I know sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do a week or 3 days of my manifesting practice and then I'll fall off. And then I'll start it up again 6 weeks later and be like, well, here I am back again. What else is missing to sprout this seed? So I talked about water, the container, and weeding. So I'm going to say, so we've sprouted the seed. The container, I'm creating a container for you of working with me in the program Manifesting with the Laws of Nature so that weekly I'm checking in with you. And in the course of 6 weeks, it's a 6 week program. You get 5 one-to-one sessions with me where we're delving into this. We're removing blocks. The blocks and the things that you don't realize are blocking you, beliefs, habits, whatnot, these are like the weeds. If I'm planting carrot seeds and there's tomatoes and peonies and zinnias and hostas and grass all around that carrot, that plant is not going to thrive. My carrots are not going to thrive if I plant them right at the base of the holly tree or the oak tree or the maple tree. As much as I love those plants, they need more space. So I have to weed out and give them room and time and space. Are you giving yourself the space? Are you weeding out the things that are getting in the way? Are you creating a container of support? I planted beans last week. Super excited, one of my favorite kinds. I saw some popping up. I came a few days later, those were gone. I saw new ones popping up. Oh, and I saw the stem looking like this that had been bitten off by a rabbit or something else. Possibly groundhog, but I think it was a rabbit, possibly squirrel. I'm going to have to cover those plants when they're in this young stage because there are things that it's just their nature to destroy it. They're not trying to thwart my life. My kids don't try to thwart my life. They're just being kids. The other events of the day, my hunger isn't trying to thwart my life, but it needs to be attended to. I need to create a protective cover. I have this chicken wire frame I can put over. I'm gonna have to plant new seeds because half of them got eaten. So how are you protecting that seed? It needs protecting, maybe not so much when it's a seed, but as it sprouts, there's a certain point in which if a rabbit or a squirrel nibbles on my bean plant, not a big deal. There are many points like right now when there are only 2 leaves. If those 2 leaves get lopped off, the plant no longer grows. It needs those 2 leaves to survive and grow bigger. Otherwise, it's dead in the soil. That's just it. Now, I know you understand. I'm speaking in metaphor, but it's really like layers. This is true in the garden. This is true in nature. This is true in your life. Humans are nature. Our behaviors and actions follow natural laws, just like the natural world. Much of our modern day society is so disconnected from the natural world that we don't understand how things work naturally. I want to re-educate you on the natural laws so that you can work and walk with the wisdom of this to influence your life. You can have so much more expansion, happiness, and connection. Okay. Let me tune in and see, is there anything else? So when I used to teach gardening, there were a lot of people who they get really excited at the beginning of the season and then the season goes along. Oh, excuse me. There's things that you don't know about a bean plant that when you plant the bean seed, you won't know how to care for the bean plant. At a certain point, if you got a pole bean, you're going to need to put up the poles so the plant can grow. Otherwise, it's going to grow on the ground. It might flounder. It might not really do much. It's going to do better if you give it the support. If you've never grown beans before, you don't know this. You might plant them too close. You might not put up the structure. There's all these things that you don't know because you've never been there yet. But people who garden before do know. If you take it slow and you read books or you observe the plant, you can observe what is needed. You don't have to work with a guide, but when you're going into the unknown, there's a lot that you don't know that will come up throughout the process. And the brain doesn't like to be overwhelmed with what we don't know. And its tendency is to survival because that's what matters. And it wants you to survive. So it'll return you to the survival state rather than let you push into the unknown again and again and again. So working with a guide, looking at resources, slowing down to see what's happening with the plant allows you to move forward and work with what you have so that you can continue progressing. And none of this, I just want to clarify. Sometimes I think it's really easy if a manifestation doesn't happen to start getting into a judgy phase with ourselves. Oh, is this what happened? Or, oh, I guess I don't really deserve this, or I didn't do enough and I didn't show up enough, and that's why this didn't happen. But if you work with the laws of nature and just realize none of this is personal, we're simply creating the garden, the space, the framework, the formatting, the structures, the support to let something go from seed to flower, from seed to fruit. You're walking that journey. At certain points, you can step away from the journey and go a different path, and that's okay. Or if you stop engaging, if you ignore your garden, it's very possible you could go out there at the end of the season and whoop, there are your plants. Some of these things, like tomatoes or winter squash, you put it in the ground and it's going to produce no matter what, because that is a hardy plant. There are things like that in your life. It was almost no effort for you to manifest, or you did a few things and then you pretty much ignored it for the next 2 to 6 months. And then you go out there and bam, your manifestation happens. It could be easy to be like, but why did it happen in this area of my life and not in that area? Again, it's like when we're comparing peonies and this lily thing. They're not the same thing. A tomato is not the same as a bean, is not the same as a carrot. It's very easy to look at the things in your life and try to paint them with a broad brush. Just as it's easy to look at yourself and try and compare yourself to other people and paint yourself with a broad brush. But if you maintain this connection to nature, observing, noticing, meditating with nature, or just being in nature, observing it, grounding yourself, attuning your awareness to it, what you realize is it's not personal. You get many chances. The universe is infinitely creative. There are infinite possibilities available to you. There are so many paths and opportunities that you can have. I'm just going to let you sit with that because this is the truth of it all. Some people find this kind of faith in religion, and for some people, they're like, that's not for me. But the earth is a creation from the divine, from the creator. And so nature is divine intelligence manifested. You and I are as well. But it's a little bit harder sometimes to be like introspective about yourself and, manifesting and yada yada. So nature's outside of you in some ways. You can look at it, you can learn from it, you can attune yourself to the awareness. And if you want to get into frequencies, when you're with nature, you're connecting to that high level frequency that is going to make it easier to grow that garden. So many times over the years when I've been gardening, I did things that were just for play, for experimentation, or me just moving intuitively in the garden. And then people would come to me later and be like, look at this color arrangement that you did. That is so beautiful. And I thought to myself, I literally didn't think at all. I just was out there doing things, scattering. I got into some Zen mode. But then 4 months later, it was this amazing, multi-textured, purple hued, cool veggie flower bed. And I'm thinking, dang, I don't know if I could have planned that consciously, logically, rationally, but intuitively, I just zinged my magic zing in the garden. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to zing your magic zing. I want you to grow and garden your manifestations to fruition in a way that feels super delightful, that lets you uncover things that you never uncovered before. There's a lot of manifesting that the reason it's so easy to get into judgment with ourselves, with what's going on, is one, we want what we want so bad. Like this woman, she wants that thing there so bad. In the Two of Pentacles, she wants the thing, the purse that she doesn't have. We see the passage of time, we're involved in that. And so it's very easy to be like, another day without my lover, another day without being a millionaire, another day without owning my own home, or whatever it is. And day in, day out, you're like, another day, another day. When you are growing a garden, every day you walk out there and you're like, that plant put out new leaves. This peony budded out. The ants helped this peony bloom. I had to do nothing. I literally didn't do it, but the plants and the peony did it. They already had an arrangement from long ago. When you work with this, immerse yourself in this, you connect daily to the magic of the natural world. You pace yourself in a different way so that you can release yourself from the judgment. You can be involved in the delight of it, of all of this. And what do you do? Well, one, you grow. You either grow your literal garden or your metaphorical garden. And I'm not going to fill in the later for you because I know you know what you want. This is where we are right now. These are the things, excuse me, we're going to be doing. There's the then, there's the now, there's the later. You know the likelihood of you growing this garden, getting the tomatoes, the beans, the carrots that you want within the next 6 months. If you follow the laws of nature, you will get the outcome. Will you get a bumper harvest or a few? We don't know yet. Will you be most gardeners that I've met, even if they only got 3 tomatoes, they were thrilled. The first year I grew a Cherokee Purple and had my luscious tomato and was out there every day watching it go from a tiny little blueberry size green tomato to a little bit bigger, to grape size, to plum size, to tomato size, to slowly reddening. Every day was a delightful experience of watching the beauty of it unfold. and tasting that tomato. Did I have more than 4 tomatoes that year from that plant? The first year I was growing it by myself? I don't remember having 4 tomatoes or more than four. In later years, would I have, baskets of tomatoes? Yes. Whatever outcome you get, if you know you will have an outcome and you're not worried about the quantity or the magnitude, and you're simply enjoying the process of this all, you will have the delights that are so incredible. And this is why people who garden, we just do it year after year after year because it's one of the easiest ways to touch into the delight of life, the laws of nature, and work with literal things so that the symbolic, the metaphorical, the theoretical things, so that we can bring them manifest in our lives. So after we hang up, if you want to journal and dream about what goes in this later category, go for it. I'm not going to do that with you right now because I want to honor your time. With this recording, you will have a link so that you can sign up for Manifesting with Nature. We start, hold on a second. Let me get my calendar. Okay, it starts May 20th that it is released. If you have any questions, reach out to me via email or messenger. There are 2 levels. You'll see with the link here, everything that's included. I will also send you seeds in the mail, unless you don't want me to, but I'm super excited to send you homegrown saved seeds. So that if you want to also be literally planting in the garden as you're learning about the laws of nature, it's truly incredible. I don't know of anybody else who teaches manifesting like this. It's a one-of-a-kind program and it's super special. I am a certified infinite possibilities manifesting trainer. I learned from Mike Dooley, who was in The Secret and has written many books. So I was certified in his method. Do I have it here? You'll get a workbook. Oh my, I printed out my copy, but I don't know where I put it. All right, I'll send you some pictures. You get the workbook, you'll get seeds in the mail, you get me sending you a video every week to engage with, and each video will be 30 minutes or less. You can high speed it if you need to. And we also will meet 5 times over the course of 6 weeks for a 30-minute call. That's in the standard level. The higher level one, the gold VIP, is you can meet with me for an hour, and that goes through 12 weeks, not just 6 weeks. And the basic level is 450, and the higher level is 1200. What else do I want to say? It's an incredible program. I have been using the laws of nature to manifest for years and working with nature. And I am so excited to share this with you and to have you come on this journey with me. It is going to be super exciting. And I encourage you to get started right away. And feel free to send me a picture or a scanned copy of your then, your now, your later. And if you have any questions about that, let me know. Wishing you all the best this weekend. See you soon. And click the link on Manifesting with the Laws of Nature to learn more about this program and sign up. Take care.